Moving to Spain on a budget is probably a lot easier than you think, especially since I did all the research for you and I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. So the first thing to consider when you're trying to move to Spain on a budget is how much it's going to cost you to actually enter into the country, and that's going to depend on which country you're from. I'm going to put a link down in the description box so you can check out to see which countries are on the visa-free list and which countries actually have to pay to get in. If you're an American like me, you're going to get in free for 90 days. So moving there is absolutely free starting out. If you're not on that visa-free list, it's going to cost no more than $72 for an adult and roughly $42 for any children that you have with. But of course, you also have to get to Spain, and flying there is really the best and cheapest way to do so. And I found flights from Chicago to Madrid for $302. I looked up flights from New York as well. Those were closer to $225, and then flights from LAX to Madrid were roughly about $400. So we're just going to say on average, a flight from the United States to Spain is going to cost about $300 per person. And of course, whenever you move to a new country, you're going to need to be able to use their phone and get on the internet and things like that. So getting a SIM card while you're in Spain is important. You have a lot of different options. You have Orange, Vodafone, Movistar, some others that are there as well. Now you could pick up some of these SIM cards while you're in the airport, but I don't recommend that because they're going to be a lot more expensive than if you travel to the city first and then pick up a SIM card at actually one of the dealerships. So when I was there, I would just walk into an Orange store. I could get a SIM card. I think they were free, and then it was about $12 to $18 per month to get enough gigs on it for what I needed to do. And of course, there's lots of places within the cities that you can get free Wi-Fi. You know, you got to think of like restaurants and coffee shops and things like that. So there's plenty of ways to get internet access while you're there on a budget. Of course, you have to get to the city from the airport, and the cheapest way that you're going to be able to do that is using their metro. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the city center, and that costs €5 or roughly $6. I don't expect everyone to have their accommodations planned precisely once they land in Spain. You might want to stay in just a basic hotel room for the night or an Airbnb. The best budget that I found was for $11, and that was for just a basic room on Airbnb. And after you spend that first night there in Madrid, you're going to want to get out to your longer term accommodations, of course. And so I'm pricing this based on using Uber or something like that, and it shouldn't cost you any more than about $18 to get to wherever you need to go within Madrid. Looking at the long-term accommodations, I found, again, basic rooms within like a shared house or something like that on Airbnb for roughly $300 to $400. And I found other places where you can get the entire place to yourself, like a loft or a studio, and the most cheap places I could find were for $750 a month. Getting around places in Spain is really easy, so your transport for 1 month could be totally free because cities like Madrid are entirely walkable. But other than walking in Madrid, there's also monthly metro passes that you can get. Those are going to range anywhere from $24 for younger folks to $65 for people my age. And then if you're senior or a young child, you can get them either for $7.50 or free, respectively. And those basically give you the ability to just get around town on the metro and the buses and things like that. It's actually really convenient if you're traveling every single day. But actually, Spain has a lot of other really cool options for transportation. A lot of people there use like electric scooters and mono wheels and things like that. Well, you can actually rent something like an Uber scooter, and those don't cost very much. They're only $1.20 to unlock, and then about 15 cents a minute to use them. So you can just scoot around town like that, just on your own free will. It's actually pretty cool. If you have kids like me, you actually can move them into schools on a tourist visa in Spain. I didn't find anywhere that was cheaper than roughly about $600 per month after all the administration fees and entrance fees and schooling and materials and everything. And of course, we all need to eat even if we are in Europe, and it's a great place to eat actually, and on a pretty good budget. You can find breakfast places for about $5. You can find lunch places getting street food for about $6. For $7, you can find like a budget restaurant for dinner. You can maybe get a nice little takeout Italian pizza for $10 with a soda. That was a place that I used to eat at when I was in Barcelona. For staying on a proper budget while you're there, though, you might just want to stick with groceries. You could spend easily $8 or less. You know, that's going to come out to less than, about $240 a month if you're cooking every meal for yourself while you're there. But if you're also like me, you're also going out for donuts and coffee every time that you see a little place like that. It's going to cost you anywhere from $1.50 to $2.50, maybe $3 to get the little combo. If you like to drink, you're going to get a pint of beer at the bar for about $4. You could get the same thing at the grocery store for about $1. Whenever you need to get your clothes washed in Madrid or Barcelona or wherever you are in Spain, it's not going to be the cheapest place to do so. It's going to be about $7 to get 15 pounds of clothes washed and dried. So let's say you do that 2 to 3 times a month. That's going to be about $14 to $20. Sometimes we're worried about getting fresh water when we go and live in another country. Spain's great for fresh water. Just drink it right out the tap. That's totally free. Don't worry about that. And lastly, it's going to be really important, even now more today than ever, that you have really good travel insurance. Now, I managed to find some from Berkshire Hathaway that came out to about $20 a month when I put in for a 6-month policy that covered up to $500,000 in medical expenses. So let's run through the final tally of what it's going to cost you to move to Spain on a budget. You're looking at your visa, hopefully free if you're from the right country. Your flights are going to be roughly $302. Your SIM card for a month should cost about $15. The transport to the city from the airport is going to cost you $6. Your first night's stay when you get there should be $11. The transport to your long-term stay should be no more than $18. 1 month accommodations in a private room is going to be roughly $350. If you have an entire loft or studio, we're looking at $750. Schooling with children, if you have them, is going to be $600. I'm going to make the food budget at $300, so that way you have room to do groceries and restaurants or coffees and donuts or drinks or whatever. Laundry, we're going to put that from $14 to $20, and travel insurance is another $20. So Nomads, the grand total if you want to move to Spain on a budget is going to be $1,042. And that's not the only place you can move on a budget. You can look right here to move to Thailand on a budget, click right here to move to Mexico on a budget, right here to move to Colombia on a budget, and right here is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you will enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hopefully I'll see you in another one. Peace.